Interesting times we're living in right now. Security over the past couple of months has been good. The bombardments have hit the bandits hard. The governor of Kaduna State came out last week and said Kaduna is much more at peace right now because of the successes recorded by the Nigerian Air Force in some of the bombardments. And it killed some very notable, notorious kingpins who are fond of kidnapping and responsible for the unrest in several communities. But let's start the conversation here at home in Adamawa State. Last week, some young men, I think the oldest was 31 in that group, or 32. The rest were in their 20s, and they were the kidnap ring that were notorious for kidnapping people in parts of Mubi. Give me your sense on the state of affairs as far as security is concerned with regards to kidnapping in Adamawa State, because we've had to deal with this for the most part of 2020 and 2021, but we saw it die down a bit. What do you make of this new trend of kidnapping coming back again, especially at this time?
The economy is driving people to do their worst. And the latest report, the food hunger report, shows Nigeria is 103 out of 121 countries. And the countries below Nigeria are not any countries to talk about. And so that gives you an indication of the desperation and hunger of people. And this is what's driving people into these criminal crime cartels that either deal with selling drugs or human trafficking or kidnapping. And out of all of it, the one that makes good money, quick money, instantly, is kidnapping. So most people decide, well, I'm not going to sell drugs because I might get caught. I'm not going to do human trafficking because it's too risky. I'm going to do kidnapping.
It's also another risk.
Yeah, but not as risky.
So they're choosing their risks too.
Well, you choose your battles, as we say. But the thing about human trafficking is you have to take a group of people and you have to take them with you. It could be young, old, elderly, children, and you have to transport them across international lines, maybe take them from here to Chad or to Burkina Faso to deliver them to another group of people who will take them to Europe or someplace. Too risky, too much time, and not too much money. Kidnapping gives a lot of money in a short space of time with the least amount of risks. You kidnap someone, you kidnap a husband and wife, and you take him into the mountains. You charge 5 million apiece. That's 10 million each. That's 10 million for two of them. Within a week or two, you will get that money. The people go away, you get your money, you pay off your informants and your ground soldiers, your foot soldiers, and you're good to go.
But that isn't handling poverty or hunger either. That is already a business one is running.
It is a business, but what are they doing with the money? They're giving it to their family members to build houses. They're giving it to their family members to buy cars and to do things in case something happens to them. And the rest of the money, so half the money goes into business, the other half goes into buying weapons. So the ones who receive the money, let's say the foot soldiers, the informants, what do they do with it? They go into town and they go to a beer parlor and they buy the beer, the pepper soup, and they buy for everyone. Or they go and they buy good shoes, good clothes, a nice phone. So it's good for the economy in that way because they're spending the money. So that is why you see an uptick in the kidnapping. On the other hand, the police is doing excellent. Our police in Adamawa, I should say, under the leadership of the new CP, he has created more patrols. He has re-gingered and revamped the kidnapping task force into sending them out and making sure we're not going to be reactive, we're going to be proactive. And that is why they're able to do a lot more and capture so many more. Between January and now, they have captured a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they have freed a lot of victims. The problem is a lot of people do not report that they have a kidnapped victim. Because the kidnappers, when they call you, they will say, Brenda Yender, do not contact the police nor the SSS, otherwise if we find out, we're going to kill your loved one. Hearing that, what do you do? I mean, it's like a catch-22. If you tell the police and they find out, you're in trouble. If you don't tell the police, you're still in trouble. So the problem then, it depends on the family. What do you want? Do you want the police to intervene and help? Yes or no? People will ask me when they're in trouble like that, I'll tell them, go to the police. The police need to be involved, they need to know. Then whatever it is the police tells you, you act on that. If you don't feel comfortable, then you do what you want to do, but you at least told the police, and the police cannot give you good advice.
Now, what do you make of the persons involved in the kidnappings now? Especially if you look at the demography, they're young teenagers or, just adults that, just hit 20 plus. They're not the most experienced criminals. What does this new phenomenon or new trend in the nature of the criminals say about what's going on?
Well, that is a very, very good point. Demographics. Demographics will tell you everything. And there's a way to figure out the demographics using something we call algorithm. And what we do is we look at the age of there's a village of 1,000 people. Out of the 1,000 people, 500 of them are young boys under the age of 30. None of them are working. They're not married. They have no children. They do nothing. That is a village to look out for, because that is where Boko Haram is going to recruit. Everybody's going to recruit, and that's where your kidnappers will come from.
The probability is higher.
The probability is higher.
Because of unemployment, because of poverty and drug abuse and
exactly. That is what the Western world does. We do demographics. Young men, unmarried, no job, because even if you're 28 or 30 years old, if you have a wife and 2 children, you tend to be back.
A lot more responsible.
You're more responsible. You don't work, you no wife, no children, your father is dead, your mother is an old woman at home doing nothing, you have no job, there's nothing, no food, you have to beg people. That is a ripe situation for recruitment, for ISWAP, for Boko Haram, for bandits and kidnappers, because that's where the kidnappers go, to recruit those young boys. Those young boys didn't just get up and say, hey, I want to be a kidnapper. Somebody recruited them.
And do you think that this is because I heard someone allude to something to the effect of now there's a passing of the torch where the old gang is trying to retire by recruiting this new young blood to go do their bidding. They teach them, they learn the ropes, and then they don't have to risk themselves now. That's why we're seeing the kidnappers, whether it's a Kaduna train attack, or the recent one here in Yola, they're young boys, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Is that what's happening?
Absolutely. We discussed this here before a couple of months ago. The older men have made a tremendous amount of money. They don't even need to do it anymore, and they don't want to do it
risk, right?
and take the chance and get caught, because now they have millions of naira to do anything they want, and they're living amongst us. We just don't know. They're living right amongst us. We just don't know who they are yet. So all of those foot soldiers that they use to go out and break into your house and kidnap you, they have now migrated up. They have now been promoted into higher positions. They know what to do because they've been doing it with the older men. The older men are now scattered here and there. The young boys are doing it, and in about another 3-4 years, a 22-year-old boy is going to be now 26, 27 with a lot of money. He's also going to turn it over to the younger ones. That is why we need to fix it fast and fix it quick.
When you talk about fixing this quick, as you said in your word, and you mentioned how those who are not married, those who are drug barons, or those who are just there in the community doing nothing, what's the stake of the stakeholders, the community leaders? what should they be doing right now, looking at the years of these guys that are involved in this day-to-day?
Well, the community leaders don't have much. The problem is these guys have nothing to do. A community leader, an old man, all he can do is talk to them. But he cannot provide them a job. They need something to do. They need to feel important. They need to feel as, even if they're making a little bit of money, they feel important. Now, the problem is when you start kidnapping and you realize you can make 250,000, just me alone, from kidnapping 2 people. I make 250,000. I'm 21 years old. Do you think I'm going to go and sell suya or fix shoes or go and sweep somebody's yard?
Especially if not properly trained.
Exactly. So there's no turning back for that man. So what we have to do is stop the recruitment at that early age. And this is where those people come in.
But how do you stop it?
By going and get the young boys before they're recruited and start talking to them, teach them, walk with them, give them some self-confidence, sit them around. When the elderly men are sitting around, bring those young boys with them and let them sit and talk and listen to the things you say. You got to catch them very, very young, because once they get out and they become kidnappers, there is no going back. And kidnapping is different from these guys who were captured by Boko Haram and forced into fighting. I give you a gun, otherwise we'll kill you.
But we're in a different times now where you see young people barely can even sit with the elderly because they feel money is not involved. Most times, the money thing is what keeps these young lads going. And why I did mention about the stakeholders in the communities, because they have access to government. Perhaps if they listen to what the young persons have to say, okay, this is what you want us to do for us. And the person picks it up and say, okay, let's go to our political leader from that community. Tell the person, okay, this is what we want you to provide for us, especially the youth, so that they'll be able to use it and take care of themselves instead of doing the bad thing. Then from there, it heads to the government, where they have the total responsibility of taking care of development in that community. Perhaps that was what I was looking at for.
No, excellent point. Now, you said that the youth and the elderly,
they barely can sit like before. Like before.
Exactly, but because for you all were, but not you all, like you're still a youth, both of you.
Yeah.
The elderly ignored you all for too long. The youth has been ignored for so long that there was no guidance and no one to look up to and nothing to do. So the youth just went on their own and they start watching social media.
But some of them also bought the conscience of the elderly in the community by giving them some incentive too. They just come give you some monies and you become a hero.
Well, that's bribery. that's
no, not bribery per se.
but yeah, they did that. But you know, it's we have to involve the youth, because the youth is the one who's doing it. And if we do not involve the youth, then we are lost. The thing about kidnapping, though, it comes, what we need to know, your viewers, they need to know that you need to prevent yourself from getting kidnapped. And they need to know what to do if the point comes where you are being kidnapped, where it is actually taking place. You know, people are being kidnapped now. They used to kidnap you in a bar. They used to kidnap you on the street. Now they're coming straight to your house. And they're just telling you, come out. And they start shooting the AK-47, and you will come out. But to me, the most important aspect of kidnapping is after you get kidnapped, what do you do? That is the most important aspect from my perspective. What do you do? Many people get kidnapped and they'll go and they will tell the kidnappers, oh, please don't kill me. My uncle has a lot of land in Port Harcourt. Or my father is a rich man. He has businesses in America. My uncle has this. I am attached with politicians and they all have money. They can help me. Please don't kill me. What are you doing? You're giving away information.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one example, a gentleman was kidnapped, and The kidnappers say, give me, if you want your son back, give me 5 million. So the old man decided he's going to his house. He said, okay, come, don't kill my son, come with me. Two of them were kidnapped. He said, come with me, I will give you some money. He went to his house, took 5 million, give it to the kidnappers. What did the kidnappers say? What? You've got 5 million naira in your house just to give me like that? Give me 20 million. Because you feel if you have 5 million in your house, you have more. So this is the kind of stuff people need to know. You need to be sensitized what to do. Don't do anything, don't say anything stupid, carry out all instructions. Listen, and play dumb.
We live in a time where it's a problem if you don't have money. And then it's an even bigger problem if you do have money. Because now people are just watching your pocket and things like that. But there is also a new twist, a new dimension to it. And I was relaying this particular information to Brenda because there's a report that came from part of Taraba in Gembu State, I beg your pardon, in part of Taraba State, where it is something that happened within the family. And we've heard of these stories before. Children faking their kidnap, wives faking their kidnap, husbands faking their kidnap, for obvious financial gain. And in this particular regard, it was a father who came home with lots of money, around 5 million naira, and 3 of his children, connived with kidnappers to have their father kidnapped, and then ransom was given. That 5 million was taken, and then he had to pay ransom on top of that. And later, it was found out that 3 of his boys were actually the ones who gave this information out to the terrorists. I mean, this sort of like makes the whole, situation very, very complicated, isn't it? To the point where you don't know who to trust. I mean, It is one thing to share information with your friends, but my God, if you can't trust your own children, I mean, that is a new low that we have to deal with.
That is a very low. That is very low, where you have to kidnap your father, get your father kidnapped, in order to make some money, because there is some, in a situation, I don't know the people, but I can tell there must have been some distrust in that family there. Well, let me give you something on the other side of that, where the children did to the father, as this father's son was kidnapped. When the kidnappers called and we went to talk to the father said, let them kill him, let them keep him, I don't want him. The father blatantly says, keep him, he's a troublemaker, I don't want him. Do what you want to do with him. Don't let the kidnappers talk to me, I don't want to talk to any one of them, and none of you come to me and tell me anything about my son and these kidnappers, because my hands are clean. Whatever they want to do with him, they do with him. The kidnappers let him go. Right. Because they realized
which could have been a ploy itself, to just get the money from the father.
The father was serious.
Yeah. But I'm saying, as far as trust goes, right?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about being security conscious. Who do you share information with? Who are you telling your business and all of that?
And you feel that if your family
feel comfortable,
with
sharing
your family.
with your family. I mean.
And that
we're going to have to be living in a state of paranoia all the time, because everybody is out to get you if your blood can actually do that to you.
And what you do is you just keep your mouth shut. Whatever businesses you have, and your wife can also set you up too, because it has happened.
But how careful, how more careful can we be?
And also, how accessible easily accessible are some of these kidnappers within communities? Because I reckon you would have to move with a certain type of crowd to know who is doing what and where.
Now, good point. Let me say this. A lot of those kidnappers are not from here, and not from Yola and Jamaica. They're not even from Adamawa State. They're from different places. Some come from Chad, Niger,
so
Cameroon.
So what information is given to them?
The people around you are the ones who's giving them information. They will come to your house to kidnap you. Sometimes they get wrong information. They don't even know you. All they know is the information that I gave them about you, and they come to your house to kidnap you. But this is the person they were trying to kidnap. They don't even know where they're going. So, because they're not from here. And so they get wrong information and they go to the wrong house. By the way, whenever they go to the wrong house in a compound, or they go there and the person they're going to kidnap is not there for whatever reason, he went away, they don't leave empty-handed.
They have to
They're going to go to the neighbor. They're going to take somebody or some people with them because they don't go empty-handed. This is a business. They figured, I came to get this product. The product is not there. Let me take two. So they take you and they take Pamela, John, and they go.
Do we also have to be very suspicious of, our neighbors and their activities or people we see in our neighborhood, especially, some of these boys who are mostly just sitting around, not doing anything, hanging out at the Mishai spot or under the trees and things like that, because they might as well be passing information to people we don't know. I mean, what do we do with that? Sometimes they're just innocently hanging out because they don't have anything to do. But sometimes they could also be informants.
Oh, they are. Those are the informants, and usually people who work for you. Listen, let's say you hire somebody to work in your house as a nanny, or as a cook, or as a cleaner,
security guard, right.
A security, and he gets his first month's pay, and they quit. You don't know where they are, you don't know where they went, but they know all your business. They know where you
timing.
They know your timing. They know where you put things. They know everything about you. 1 month they studied you. Then he quit. He didn't say he's not coming back. He didn't say he's leaving. He just disappears, and no one knows where he is. You better be afraid, because he might be telling someone, I know this person, I work with them, they have money, and I know exactly how you can get hold of them. That is why we always say, don't just go and hire a nanny.
Do a background check.
Vet them. Go let the, pay extra 10,000, 20,000. Let the civil defense or the police or SSS vet that person. At least you'll feel comfortable knowing that this person has been vetted. And now that they're in your compound, you feel at least some level of...
But then it's not even safe, because some of these people get influenced along the line. They say, your Oga has some money. Do this for us. We're going to fix you. We're going to do this in return.
And you don't have to be a security guard anymore.
Yes.
You don't have to be exactly.
Anyway, at the end of the day, crown all of that security consciousness with prayers.
And vigilance.
Yeah.
You are your own security. Don't go to places after dark by yourself. Don't go to places and tell people how much money you have. Don't show off.
Don't tell people your business.
Don't tell people your business, period. Don't say anything to anybody about anything that involves you or your family. Even if you get a promotion, people think that you're making money. If your family died and left some land for you, they think you have money. So keep your mouth shut. No, your business is your business. And just like you rightfully said, don't say anything to you,
and when you
to your
don't say,
children.
people have less information about what you do.
The less they know, the better it is for you.
This is it. Doc, thank you very much for your time on the program this morning.
And I like this topic because we need to stamp out kidnapping. Everybody should be very afraid, but don't walk around being afraid. Just be careful.
Those are the sage words of the one and only Dr. Lionel Rollins. Thank you very much. We hope to see you next week, Monday.
Yes, sir. I'll be here for Brenda Yanda.
Yeah, definitely.
So not Mary today?
No, not Mary anymore.
And not Yetunde?
No, just you.
Okay,
nice. Not Yetunde.
And not Pamela either?
Pamela, yes.
Okay, nice. All right, that's our conversation with Dr. Lionel Rollins. He is the Vice President, Security and Safety of the American University of Nigeria here in Adamawa State. We're going to break. We'll be back with our second conversation.
Every day, we are exposed to a variety of information from the larger society and on social media. How credible are such messages? Nobody loves to be deceived. Nobody wants to be fooled. Stop the creation and spread of fake news. Don't be in a hurry to share messages. Verify facts and source before spreading. Fake news is harmful.
John. I am a Nigerian. I live among my people. I love my country. My religion is Nigeria. My religion is my people. I hate to be hated. I hate not to be loved. You are my brother. You are my sister. I deserve to live my life free from every hatred. You deserve to also live. Why the bitterness? Why the anger? Why draw a sword? Are we no longer one people? Please, let's stop the hatred. Let's stop the killing. Let's bring back love. Let's hold our hands like we used to. Remember, our religion is Nigeria. Your religion is my religion. My religion is your religion. And your religion is my religion because we are Nigerians. We love to live. Let's live our lives to the fullest.
You're welcome back, and still on Safa Breakfast Show this morning. The judgment of a federal high court in Gola, which sacked the APC gubernatorial candidate Senator Aisha Binani, has continued to elicit reactions. The court ruled on Friday that the APC flouted its rules and provisions of the Electoral Act in the conduct of the Adamawa governorship primaries on May 27th and 28th, which meant the result of the primary would not stand. However, the trial judge, Abdulaziz Anka, declined a plea for the party to hold a fresh election. Recall, Senator Aisha Ahmed Binani had on 26th of May 2022 made history by beating 6 other male aspirants to become a winner of the primaries. What's the implication of the court ruling on the party going forward? And joining us on this conversation is Idris Tribe, who is a legal advisor of the All Progressive Congress here in Adamawa State. Good to have you on the show this morning.
Good morning.
Yes, with the ruling here in Adamawa State on Friday, speak to us about the happenings.
Actually, let me begin to say we receive in shock and mixed feeling the judgment just delivered by the Federal High Court on the 14th day of October 2022. And we feel at our own end this judgment is erroneous, especially the consequential order made by the court refusing APC to conduct a fresh primary election. We feel it's erroneous, and same error occasion a miscarriage of justice on the part of the party in particular, and of course the candidate. And we shall test the judgment on appeal.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're going to play the blame game, the only person or the only institution to be blamed here is not going to be the Federal High Court. It's definitely going to be APC, because this is a self-inflicted injury, isn't it? The APC did this to itself.
Actually, the person to blame, we are not blaming court per se, but we are saying the positions of the law. It wasn't like that. If you look at the Electoral Act, the elections is guided by the provision of the Electoral Act, and the court is also bound to do whatever in accordance with the law. Section 29, sub 1 of the Electoral Act, make it clear that every political party shall before the expiration of 180 days, submit the name of the candidate they intend to sponsor in the election. As far as Section 229 of 1 of the Electoral Act, shall not later than 180 days submit the name of the candidate they intend to sponsor or they propose to sponsor in the election. And such candidate must emerge through the valid primary election. If you go to Section 84, sub 13 of the Electoral Act, further said that any political party that failed to comply with the provisions of this act in the conduct of its primary election will stand the chance to lose the inclusions of its candidate in the general election. But Section 84, same 84, sub 14 of the Electoral Act, further said that notwithstanding the provision of this act, a candidate who feels aggrieved or he feels that any part of the Electoral Act has been violated in the conduct of the primary election or the guidelines of political party, such candidate shall go to the Federal High Court to seek a redress. The subsection 15, that is Section 84, sub 15, make it very clear that nothing in this law shall stop or shall empower the court to stop a political party from conducting primary election or general election.
That's if they do not comply to the rules.
Whether they did not comply with the rules, the only thing that the court will do is to void the election and order for a fresh primary election. So where we feel the court is in error is to stop the APC from conducting primary election. If you are to make a community reading, you don't read a status in an isolation. You have to read it together. If you make a community reading of the Electoral Act, you find that the court have no power. That is Section 84, sub 15 said, nothing in this act shall empower the court from stopping a political party from conducting primary election or general election.
Right, obviously. I mean, the prayers are one thing from those that instituted the lawsuit in itself, because we did talk about how, or at least the APC's understanding is that the court went further beyond than saw the prayers before it on this said matter. But again, back to my question, which was, this was a self-inflicted injury by the APC. You did not agree or disagree with me on this one, because it all started with the primaries, the issue of overvoting itself. This is an APC affair. As far as the court is concerned, the judge sat on the matter that was brought before him. And yes, you can agree to disagree on how the verdict went a little beyond the scope of the matter. But the issue is, the APC did not conduct a valid primary election in May this year.
Let me say further that we must acknowledge the fact that the industry of the judgment has touched the entire anatomy of what has transpired in the primary election of the APC. And as a lawyer, we have to appreciate the industry of the judgment. We have to appreciate the industry of the judgment, except this consequential order stopping APC from conducting a fresh primary election.
Which is not final, by the way.
And the verdict will not constitute a final judgment. And to our opinion, such judgment will not ascend the judicial ladder even by an inch. We are optimistic such judgment is just a dead on arrival. When
pending a superior judgment.
Yes.
As it stands right now, this is the
This is what we have.
okay.
Yes.
But still, I feel like you're deliberately refusing to take responsibility for your party. I know the APC Adamawa State chapter did not organize or conduct the primaries. It was at the federal, at the national level, a committee was sent to conduct the primaries. But this is an APC blunder, isn't it? With regards to the primaries and how it was not accepted by other candidates.
Such things is natural in every election.
Is it?
It's natural to happen.
Because it didn't happen in the PDP. It didn't happen in other political parties.
No, you cannot conclude that it doesn't maybe happen in other political parties.
That we saw it
because maybe they did not challenge them in the court.
Yeah, but overvoting?
Yes.
Which other political party has celebrated case like this one?
Because even this one, if not because Malam Nurul Bado have taken the...
But you do not disagree that legally speaking, there is a case to be made that the primaries have violated.
Yes. Yes, the primary have violated the positions of the electoral act. Overvoting in the plethora of authorities. Right. Is a serious election malpractice that should not be treated with levity. So it's not about candidate, it's about party. To some extent, the judgment of the court is very good on the party as it presently constituted. Because the party said, okay, you guys, whoever will flag the ticket of your party, let him get them through a clean process. So it's very good for the party. Safe this consequential order.
Okay. So you have an issue with no primaries, but you don't have a problem with the primaries was faulty.
Yes, we don't have problem.
Okay. So
because if you have to do justice to all and sundry. Even the summary resolution of the party admitted that there was an overvote. The report of the INEC, who are the only and sole supervisory body or institution, indicated that there was an overvoting in the election. And even the governorship panel that was constituted to look at the election in question, they admit that there was an overvoting in the election. Save the overvoting is insignificant number. But in law, if you
whether it is or it is not, as far as laws are guiding such processes, definitely it has gone against the law.
It's really gone against the law. Right. The guidelines of our party, APC, said, if there is overvoting, even by negligible fraction, such election shall be cancelled. In order for
so it's not out of place that we have this happening, right? As the legal advisor of the APC, where do you stand right now?
We are preparing to test the judgment in the Court of Appeal, which we are optimistic that they will order for a fresh.
And okay, so that would
we have
be
14 days.
That would be the prayer of the APC.
Yes.
Not to reinstate the mandate of Senator Aisha Tadayudu Binani.
No, APC as a party. They are adversely affected by the outcome of the judgment. As I told you before, not about the candidate. We are not talking about the candidate. We are talking about the party. Whoever will get the ticket of the party, let him get through a clean process. So the party now, all what party is after is to have the elections is been conducted, to have a fresh election been conducted, where all aspirants will participate and get a clean process.
And the senator right now would also have her own interest at this point in time to maintain perhaps the status quo, as the case may be, to ascertain the veracity of that particular process itself, so as not to have to put herself in the ring yet again to win something she would naturally feel that she has won the first time. There will be no need for a second round.
I may not know her reaction to the judgment, but if I may advise,
It is better for a fresh primary?
For a fresh primary, so that we will get a clean process to avoid the risks of losing the ticket after the conduct of the primary election.
For most observers, APC is in a catch-22 situation right now. Fresh primaries is still going to be bad for you, especially if Senator Benani doesn't win, the next primaries, because already, as things stand, people feel like this is a personal attack because a woman has emerged as a flag bearer, and that's why the party is not willing to pull its weight behind her. However, there is no telling that if the APC conducts another primaries today, that she'll win. There are no guarantees. It could change. How do you see your party overcoming this? Bearing in mind that we're already in the campaign season, and right now the APC, especially here in Adamawa State, is lagging behind, because while other parties are moving on with the campaigns, you have to deal with this whole little litigation to sort it out first before you take the next step. And time is not on your side as a political party.
You will agree with me, Adamawa State is an APC state. And,
is it?
It's an APC state.
We have a PDP governor. I don't know what you mean by it's an APC state.
I can say this beyond any peradventure, because...
how do you mean APC state?
It is just an internal crisis that caused our party to crash land at the just concluded...
More like crash. There's no land. There wasn't landing in 2019.
Which gave the PDP a leeway to come into power. But
so it's a PDP state?
APC... Adamawa State is an APC state, I repeat myself. But because of the crisis...
What do you mean? What do you mean it's an APC state?
It was an APC state.
What do you mean it's an APC state? Because APC is an opposition in Adamawa State.
You can call it opposition.
No, I'm not the one calling it. It's a fact. You're a lawyer. You know it's a fact that APC does not,
What I mean by APC, Adamawa State is an APC state, because if you carefully and painstakingly look at the nature of what has transpired at the last concluded election, you found that it is because of the crisis in APC that paved the way for this current PDP government. And we have went back to the drawing board and settled all the differences in the party. Now we are very strong, solid, and we want to reclaim our money.
And you still don't have a candidate yet.
But you just talked about internal
election. You don't have a candidate for it. I don't know how strong you can be without a candidate.
This one will not constitute a problem, because I have told you that it's just a matter of filing our appeal. We'll get order and conduct a fresh primary election where all will participate. And we have already settled our differences. Whoever flag whoever emerged a flag bearer of our party, all the candidates
with this very ruling, you know that a lot of APC stewards will withdraw interest pending when appeal decides to work on this very issue. As you did say, you're going to appeal. How well do you intend to really put together efforts in making sure that the party stays intact going forward for 2023 elections?
The party is intact. There is nothing that is happening with the party as far as the party is concerned. It's intact. We don't have any problem.
You don't have any problem. I mean, from May to this point, you've had a primary that was full of irregularities. You don't have delegates in Lamurde, and then people were fielded to vote for Lamurde. You had a lot of issues around overvoting, vote buying. You've had your chairman removed because of maladministration. I mean, it's like you're living in a different reality, Barrister, because everything is okay is not the same thing as everything is okay for the rest of the world, because it does not look like everything is in order for the APC at the moment.
It's natural for a party to have crisis here and there, but the most important thing is to have the party on its feet. And the APC is currently got another chairman in the state, acting chairman, and it's because of the reality of place. and especially the former chairman was a vote of no confidence has been passed against him for so many reasons. For so many reasons. In an attempt to fix the party, we feel the former chairman has to go because, number one, he refused to constitute a conflict and reconciliation committee. Maybe if he had constituted conflict and reconciliation committee, no Ribado might not have gone to court to challenge this primary election.
But with or without the legal case, we all know that overvoting, and especially because of the act itself, is very clear. Whether or not no Ribado had decided to go to court, it would have been a different case entirely, because the process has to be pure for the outcome to be acceptable, legally speaking.
If you did not go to court, nobody will come and tell you that you see.
I mean, it could have been somebody else, if not Nuri Badu.
No, it is only, I can tell you, it is only Nuri Badu that decided to go to court.
I'm saying it could have been. It could have been somebody else.
I can't answer this question because I'm not.
There's no question. I'm just saying it's a possibility that somebody else among the candidates could have.
I don't think so.
Well, okay. Just to get a sense of what might happen within the next 14 days, right? The best case scenario for the APC right now, your prayer in the appeal would be to have a chance to conduct
just one prayer.
Conduct just another primaries.
Conduct another primary.
With how many possible candidates now at the moment? Because
we have 5 candidates on ground.
You have 5?
5.
One has left for the Labour Party already.
Yes.
Have others expressed interest in going back for the primaries again?
Yes, no.
Really?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
With consideration that they might likely have a chance?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It will be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Even though I get the sense that some of them would form new alliances ahead of the next. But we are, anticipating what it would look like for APC here in Adamawa State, because you have a lot. The odds are stacked against the APC right now because of this whole mess that the party is in. But time shall tell. Has the appeal been filed already?
Probably we'll lodge our appeal today. We have 14 days. We are still within time.
Okay.
And if
you make it sound like 14 days is a lot of time.
Other party, let me restrict myself in the APC.
There's so much more to talk about.
PDP's case is even worse than that of APC.
Okay. Maybe you solve your problems first,
and then
maybe you solve your problems first, and then you consider discussing other people's problems.
They are also our problem.
Yes. If you are in the election, they are your problem. If you're not in the election, you're just a bystander. You just have to watch. But anyway, time shall tell. Barrister, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Legal advisor of the APC. We hope to speak to you very, very soon, Barrister Idris Shuaibu, on this particular matter, and hopefully, if the APC is able to achieve victory at the appeal court. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. And that is our show for today. Thank you most kindly for joining us. That has been Safia Breakfast Show for today, Monday, 17th October 2022. My name is Abdullah Ahmed. We look forward to seeing you next time.
And I'm Brenda, and enjoy the rest part of your day.